Hey guys, welcome to a new video, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the first of a new series that I'm going to start making, the gubernatorial elections in the United States. So with this video we're just going to go through the series that we're going to start. We're going to go through the gubernatorial elections in 2018, and we're going to decide between two nominees, a Republican and a Democrat. Obviously, we're going to have the incumbents who are running for re-election be the nominees for their party, because it's pretty inevitable that they will be the nominees for their party. So, we're going to start in the state of Illinois, mainly because this is my home state. I have background here. I know how the current governor is running. You don't have to tell me about it in the comments. I know how this governor is running. So please, if you're from Iowa, Missouri, or Indiana, please don't comment and tell me how Governor Bruce Rauner is running the state of Illinois, because trust me, I've been through the pain of the last I don't know how many years of Bruce Rauner. So you don't have to tell me, I already know. So to make this video, I just think the video will go quicker if I know the background knowledge of the state and, you know, some of the demographics and all sorts of stuff of the state of Illinois. So we're going to go through the state of Illinois county by county. I'm going to change this to red real quick, and we're going to go through Bruce Rauner counties first. You'll see the county pop up in the top where this orange is, and I'll go through some of the demographics. For starters, let's do a leans type thing. Okay, so for starters, we'll start with the likely states for Bruce Rauner. So Bruce Rauner is almost certainly going to win these rural counties, southern Illinois, by probably very large margins. Springfield, Shelby County, Effingham, Fayette, Marion, Clay, Wayne, Hamilton, Pope. All these counties down here are probably going to go solidly probably for Bruce Rauner. Iroquois all the way down through here, and we might be even talking all the way up into, you know, Livingston County. And we're not going to do much along the northern portion of the Illinois River yet, but we will get to that, so bear with me here. We're going to go south of Adams County, so all this area we're going to say goes for Bruce Rauner. And these are heavily margined Bruce Rauners. In fact, let's go ahead and add northern Illinois into this too. Some of northern Illinois, please. No, not in all of northern Illinois is going to go for Bruce Rauner, trust me. Now for the likely Bruce Rauner states, or counties, states, we'll go right here, right around, well, I guess these would be more of the counties that would go more likely for him, so we'll change those. Kankakee, Grundy, we'll say Woodford, we'll say Brown, we'll say Schuyler County goes likely for him. Whiteside probably likely for him. Boone likely for him. And for the lean counties for Bruce Rauner, we will go Alexander County, Adams County, Mason County, Tazewell County. We'll go Putnam and Marshall counties. Putnam and Marshall counties there. We'll leave LaSalle blank for now. And now for the lean Democratic. We'll say that the nominee for the Democratic Party is Chris Kennedy, who is popular not only business-wise and politically wise in the state of Illinois, but because of his name. He's part of the Kennedy family. His name really enhances his background for some reason. Don't ask me why, it just does. But we're going to start with the leans counties for the Democrats. For starters, we're going to start with Mercer County, I believe leans for the Democrats. Henry, Bureau, LaSalle, DeKalb, Kane, Kendall, Will, McHenry, Lake counties lean for the Democrats. You can barely see that there, but I went through. We're all, we'll actually say Fulton, and Stark, and Warren and Henderson County lean for the Democrats. Now, likely for the Democrats, we are going to go ahead and say we'll go Hancock County, McDonough County, Peoria, not Peoria. Remove color. Will County, which we changed from the leans column. DuPage County, Rock Island County, and Knox County and Adams County are moderately for the Republican or Democrat. So now the solid Democratic counties are Peoria and Cook counties. So we have a large margin for the Republicans in southern Illinois, where we have white rural, not even there, just northern Illinois as well. And then you have this area along the river, which I turn south around St. Louis, which I turned likely for the Republicans. It will go for the Republicans by moderate margins down here, but just because of East St. Louis and everything down here, it gets a bit more liberal farther west you go in southern Illinois than the farther east you go. As you head off to the north, though, you start to get this boundary where you have these leans and likelies here, and those eventually transition to Democratic counties. So this western part of Illinois, which is basically mainly just District 17 of Illinois for the U.S. House of Representatives. This is our representative here is Sherry Bustos, who's a Democrat, and this is a real liberal area. Usually in presidential elections, not always in governor elections, because most of these areas did go for Bruce Rauner in the last election. But yeah, this is a very liberal area. You got college towns in Rock Island County, Knox County, Peoria County, McDonough County. McDonough County especially, you have college towns. So that's going to be very liberal to begin with. And then you go up north to Chicago, and you have Northern Illinois University. You got all those things. Cook County, Chicago, which is gonna be majority. You could win Chicago by a 70-80% margin, and Bruce Rauner could knock off the entire rest of Illinois, and the Democrat could still win, just because Chicago went for Bruce Rauner. Or for the Democrat. So you could have Bruce Rauner rack up totals of 40, 50 points in all of these counties that I'm kind of circling here, excluding Cook County, and the Democrat could win 85% margin in Cook County and win the election, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, and many other people do. But that's how it works in the state of Illinois. Don't ask me why. Chicago's huge, and that's how it is in a lot of states as well. So you, once again, southern rural part of Illinois, northern semi-rural part of Illinois. You have the urban urban part of Illinois. You have the suburban and college western Illinois area, and then you have, we'll call this region, just East St. Louis Landia down here, that tends to lean more liberal further in city you go, but this all tends to be a bit more liberal than say as far as St. Clair and Monroe counties tend to be a little bit more liberal than say Jasper or Hamilton counties. And then Alexander County tends to be a lot more liberal. I did not mean to turn that blue. Tends to be a lot more liberal than some of the southern counties down here. So yeah, this is the election. Obviously, Chris Kennedy wins. Like I said, he's a Democratic nominee. He blew off. Like I said, all I needed to do was blow off an 80% margin in Chicago, which already he would have done. But he also blew off, 50-60% margins in some of these counties down here, and so it's no-brainer. He's probably won the election on the terms of maybe 60-70%. Or well, no, we'll take it a little bit more easier than that. We'll say he won the Illinois governor election of, let's say, 55-60%, just because winning all of these. I could rack that up to 60 or 70% just because he won Cook County by a massive margin, likely up here. So I could raise the bar just a little bit to be nice to Bruce Rauner, which I have absolutely no respect for. I give all this area and probably about 55-60% of the vote to Chris Kennedy, and he becomes the incumbent governor of the state of Illinois. So what we have here, why is Bruce Rauner so unpopular? I'll make this real quick. Well, he owes people in virtually all of this area that went blue millions of dollars because he could not agree with the Democrats whatsoever. And the same thing goes for the Democrats. But you have an incumbent who, like Chris Kennedy, who hasn't served in an elected position for the state of Illinois or for the Illinois legislature, and you tend to get people who say, hey, this guy finally wants to take the game out of Springfield and bring in real political faction, real political work into Springfield and finally get something done. The state of Illinois is probably the brokest state in Illinois. The state of Illinois is literally, sorry if you hear that ticking, it sounds like a cricket, I don't know. But anyway, the state of Illinois is literally the most in-debt state because Governor Bruce Rauner and Democratic legislatures decided to play political games. But there's a side for the Democrats, a big side for the Democrats here. When you're in a liberal state, 99% of the time, legislatures are going to be controlled by what the state typically leans by in presidential and national elections, which is Democrat in the state of Illinois. You go to California, the California state legislature is a highly liberal legislature. You go to Alabama is a highly conservative legislature. You go to Illinois, for example, like the other two states, it is a highly liberal legislature. Electing a Republican governor, as a citizen, electing a Republican governor, you have to have, how do I put this bluntly? You have to have some real balls to elect a Republican governor in a state like Illinois. And that, all this area went red, last year, or last election year. Lake County, DuPage County, Will County, Kendall County, Kane County, McHenry County, all these suburb towns. And then Chicago only went moderately for the Democrat, Pat Quinn. So Pat Quinn lost the election, and you ended up with a Republican trying to work with literally probably around over majority Democratic legislature. It doesn't work. Back when Lincoln was assassinated, Andrew Johnson became the president, and you had a Democrat faced with all these Republican cabinet members. You don't get anything done. And that's why Illinois has essentially just broke off the map in terms of economy, because you elected a Republican governor in a liberal state. So this has been the election. Once again, Chris Kennedy wins the election, beating the incumbent Bruce Rauner. And thanks for watching. The next video will be probably something more out further to the west. Thanks for watching.